Okay, so first of all, suicide is when a person does something that results in their own death. A suicide gesture is something that someone does that does not result in their own death, but gives you the impression that they are thinking about it, or working their way up to it, such as cutting on the wrists, speeding without their seatbelt on, things like that. Suicidal ideation is thinking about killing yourself, thinking about your death, fantasizing about ways to kill yourself or just to commit suicide in general. What people would do feel or how they'd behave if you died. So, someone you know is displaying gestures or ideation, or you are. The first thing everyone's going to ask, any professional will ask, is do you have a plan? That is like the line. If you have a plan, or if someone has a plan, it is time to call the therapist, call the doctor, call an adult, call a hotline, go to the emergency room, call 911. Stay with that person. Or if you are that person, find someone to spend some time with. Remove things that can be dangerous, pills, guns, knives from the situation. Or remove yourself from those places where those things exist. Some people really give no sign, and it really is a matter of no one knew, he never said anything, he didn't leave a note, and there's nothing you can do about that. You know, especially when the person hasn't given things a chance, like talking to friends or going to a therapist. Sometimes there's situations where people those things aren't even an option, you know, like if you're gay and your entire community, you know, believes that gay people go to hell and you're horrible, and where do you go? What are you going to do? Some people choose not to go to other people just because they don't want to be a burden. They don't want to put another burden on somebody. They're embarrassed about what's going on. They're afraid of what they're going to hear. They're afraid of, you know, like when I worked in nursing and oncology, we would run into an awful lot of people that sensed that something was wrong, that something terminal was wrong. Older folks, and they chose not to go to the doctor when they had certain symptoms that got worse or something. And it was for a reason. They knew what it was, and they didn't want to go through the treatment that they knew was too late. It was, you know, like a second sense, just the sense they got from. Also, but some people don't go because they know, but they're afraid of it being verified. And I imagine there are people that don't want to talk about what's going on in their head because they're afraid of hearing it from someone else to verify that, oh, you're hearing voices, oh, you're thinking about killing yourself, then you really need to talk to us, you know, because that stigma is still there that assumption, especially with men, that if you go to see a psychiatrist, that it just means something so different than if you go to see an endocrinologist or a proctologist or a lot of people just can't see that as seeing another specialist for a specialty in the medical field. They think, they still have this impression that they're going to be going and getting their head shrunk and blah blah blah, and have to talk about their childhood, and I always say, no, that's the therapist. And then you have people who are just constantly talking about suicide. It is just a constant, and they do use it to manipulate people. They do throw it around casually. When do you decide that it's time to stop taking it seriously? And then that's when they decide to, do it. I mean, people get tired of hearing it. And they're going to start tuning it out. But that's just how it is with some people. And I really don't know where that comes from. And anyway,